Welcome back, Vicarious viewers. My name is Vicente, and today I'll be reviewing the new DC movie, Birds of Prey. I was able to catch the Thursday night premiere last night, and I meant to do this review right after, but it was just so late by the time the movie got out, and I had to be up early for work today. I figured to get a fresh start today, and once I could think about it a little bit, because when I got out of the movie, I realized I wasn't sure how I felt about a few elements of it. Right off the bat, first impression of the movie, this is a really fun movie. It's rated R. The title is Birds of Prey, but I would really call this a Harley Quinn movie because it really does focus on her, and we don't get as much of all the other birds, but they do come into play. The action scenes in this are a lot of fun. Margot Robbie plays Harley Quinn, and she does a great job. Um, I grew up with the Harley Quinn from the animated Batman series back in the 90s, so I always had that picture of Harley Quinn in my mind, but Margot Robbie has made the character her own, and she does it with such glee and energy that she really pulls it off. And I have to commend her for doing a really good job in really becoming this character. When it comes to the other birds, I have to say that Black Canary and Huntress are both amazing in this movie, and I actually want to see more development and more of them in the future. So I kind of hope this movie succeeds so we do get a Birds of Prey 2, or at least they can expand these characters into the DCEU. Montoya and Kane have some smaller, less developed roles. When it comes to Montoya, I think Rosie Perez did a good job with the role, but she didn't have much to do overall in the movie, and honestly, her character could probably have been omitted from the movie entirely, and we wouldn't have noticed, and some of that time could have been spent developing other characters. When it comes to Kane, her role was very reminiscent of the boy from Deadpool 2, and her dynamic with Harley Quinn is very much like that. I would say that this movie does take a lot of tried and true formulas from other movies, applies them here, and for the most part, a lot of it works. There is a lot of similarity in this movie to Deadpool 2. Um, Harley Quinn is your Deadpool character who's breaking the fourth wall, doing some narration, having this dynamic with this child delinquent who's kind of stirring up trouble and throwing a wrench in the works. This movie also jumps around in time with her narration, giving backstory on different characters, and this is very reminiscent of a Guy Ritchie movie. So if you are a Guy Ritchie fan, that aspect you will enjoy in this movie, and I think they pulled it off well. The jumping around didn't feel confusing at all, and some of the side stories did elevate the characters some, and I do appreciate some of the flashbacks. One formula I think that DC is having trouble getting rid of is their formula of one dimensional bad guys. I wouldn't say that Ewan McGregor's Black Mask is as bad as the one dimensional villains that they've had in the past, but they didn't give him a lot of depth. Ewan McGregor himself, I think, did excellent with what he was given in the role. You do see a lot of characterization. He's really fun in the beginning, with especially with the campy flair that he gives to the character, and how he's able to switch between the comedy and becoming menacing. I did see some early reviews that came out where people were saying that his character was just over the top, misogynistic, and actually, I don't particularly agree with that. I don't think he was particularly misogynistic. I just think he was a sociopath. He does not care about anyone else. He comes off as someone that came from money and power and has been growing up his army and his position starting from a position of privilege. And you kind of see some of those hints of previous trauma that may have pushed him to this, his need for attention and approval, and he does not like to be laughed at, which is very apparent in one scene in the movie, which I think some people did not like, but I think it developed a little bit more into his past. Like, why did he react so strongly to this? And you do see some of that emotion come through in little bits, and I just wished that they either gave him a flashback or at least a little bit more development. But hats off to that. There was a lot of play early on that this movie would give us some LGBT representation, and we didn't really get it. It was downplayed a lot. Um, Black Mask was supposed to be a gay character, but aside from his campy, effeminate demeanor, there was nothing explicitly saying that he was gay. They do mention that Montoya used to have this female ex in her department who they reference, but it's literally just a line which can be edited out for foreign markets. So, as a gay man, that was a little disappointing. I do wonder if possibly they might come out with a director's cut where maybe they could include more of that. Because for an R rated movie, I think they played a lot of things safe. I think they could have been a little bit more daring and risky, especially with this cast and this material. They do kind of hint at a possible relationship between Black Mask and Zaz, but we never really get it. I've also heard some complaints that this is a very girls versus boys type of movie, anti men in that aspect. And I do see that, but it fits for this movie, and I don't see it as a problem. This is a movie about Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, who are women who are usually in the shadow of other men, be it their supervillain boyfriends or their fathers, and they're really learning to be on their own and band together as women. This is very much a girl power movie, and it's hard to expect anything else. So go into this as a girl power movie and enjoy it. I had a lot of fun. But hopefully, if movies like this can succeed and get a good box office, we can get some more daring material in the future. I don't want to go too much into the details of the movie because I don't want to spoil it for any of you who haven't seen it yet. We'll leave the spoilers for down in the comments below. Any of you that have seen it, let me know what you thought. What did you like? What didn't you like? Let's have a discussion if you're down. Please be respectful, though, of course. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I do recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But those of you who are in a state where marijuana is legal and you are of legal age, this is a movie that you would probably enjoy high. I'm just saying. But hit like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single one. And thanks for stopping in for this Vicarious View.